Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be looking at the Angels' 0-8 losing streak that started last week. So, before the streak, they were 27 and 17. They were fantastic. They were at the top of the league in both pitching and hitting. Team OPS plus or Team OPS, Team ERA. They were looking really solid. They were looking like this could actually be their season to get into the playoffs and give Trout and Shohei the chance to show off in the playoffs. But since then, they've lost 8 straight games, and now they are 27 and 25, just 2 games over 500. So, in the streak, they went 0-1 against the Rangers. They won the previous game, but beginning the streak, 0-1 against the Rangers. They lost that game 2-7. Detmers went 6 innings and gave up 5 runs. The offense didn't do him any favors, but when you give up 5 runs in your start, you can't really expect to win. Next, we have the Blue Jays. They got swept at home by Toronto. So they went 0-4 in their own stadium. First game, they lost 3-6. Ryu was on for the Blue Jays. Shohei was pitching for the Angels. He gave up 5 earned runs in 6 innings, exactly the same as Detmers from the previous day. Again, can't give up 5 earned runs and win. Then we have the next day, they lost only by 1 run. The game was 4-3. Trout, Ward, and Ohtani combined to be 1 for 9. That one hit was Trout's. When your top 3 offensive guys go 1 for 9 and you lose by 1 run, they could have done more. Anything more by them potentially could have given that run to tie it. Then they lost 6-5. Shohei went 0 for 4. Again, you expect more from him when there's only down by 1 run. Hopefully he could produce that run, and he didn't. And then the fourth game, they lost 11-10. Sandoval went 3 innings, 5 earned runs. Obviously, the offense kept up with that, but Trout went 0 for 5. So in all the games where it's only 1 run difference, their big offensive guys didn't show up in one way or another. So they couldn't bridge that 1 run gap, which is a shame. And then this week, they were in New York against the Yankees. In the first game, they lost 9-1. Syndergaard went 2.1 innings and gave up 5 earned runs. Offense didn't help him anyway, but 5 runs. Next, the second game, the game that was delayed until yesterday, where Shohei was supposed to pitch at night, but he pitched during the day instead. He went 3 innings and gave up 4 runs. Again, offense didn't show up, but the starter gave up 4 runs in 3 innings. So you can't complain as much about the offense. And then 1-2, the game last night. I was at this game. I bought tickets anticipating seeing Shohei pitch. I was very disappointed when I saw he was pitching earlier in the day. But seeing Taillon take a perfect game into the 8th inning was pretty cool, so I can't really complain. Obviously, that means I did not see Trout or Shohei produce anything, which was sad. Just like flyouts, strikeouts. Shohei's, though, fly ball that was really, really close to a home run on his first at bat was really exciting. I thought that was going to go out. It sadly didn't. Judge caught it. But, yeah. So, obviously, the Angels offense did not really do anything. They took the perfect game to the 8th inning. They got their 1 run, but that was it. Then their bullpen blew it. With that game, it seemed like there were always guys on base. It seemed like the Angels were pitching horribly, but the Yankees took until the 8th inning with Rizzo's pinch hit single down the middle to actually get anything done, which is surprising. But, yeah, so in the series against the Yankees, they scored a total of 3 runs. You can't have... They scored a lot in the Toronto series, but it just couldn't keep up with their pitching. So then their top 5 offensive performers this season, how they performed in this stretch. So Taylor Ward, obviously he had the highest OPS in MLB, but 7 games in this stretch he only got 583 OPS. Now his season total is 1096. Still insane, but to go 7 games with a 583 OPS when you're normally double that can't happen. Trout did even worse. 7 games, 464 OPS over 7 games for Mike Trout. Yes, he can have a slump, but his slump came at the absolute worst time when the entire team was slumping. He had his 0 for 5 game. He had multiple other games that he was 0 for 4, but like a walk. But that game just not reaching base 5 times. That cannot happen with Trout. Ohtani on the season has been overall disappointing, which is unfortunate. But 8 games, 763 OPS, which is only slightly worse than what his season was so far. Now he has a 776 on the season. Obviously, it was a bit higher before this. But he didn't do too much out of the ordinary. His pitching hasn't been fantastic. His last 2 starts were quite bad, actually. But Walsh, 8 games, 796 OPS. So his OPS is actually slightly higher than it's been on the season during this stretch. Obviously, it should be higher as a whole. Walsh should have well up in the 8s, if not touching the 9s. But he's still doing better than he's been this season. And then Rendon only played the first 2 games of this. Now he's on the injured list. But in those 2 games, he had a 661 OPS when on the season. Now he has a 738. So Walsh is the only one that performed better during this stretch. Their big 2, Ward and Trout, did abysmal. They're a big reason that they aren't winning these games, these 1-run games. And then the game against the Yankees, Tyone taking the perfect game to the 8th. They had plenty of opportunity to break that up, and they just never could. And Walsh and Shohei are tied for 3rd on the team with OPS. So Ward and Trout are in front, and Walsh and Shohei are in 2nd place with 776, 775. They're literally 0.1 apart, so they're 1 apart. So I consider them the same. But for an offense that was so stacked and was 2nd in OPS for a lot of the season, to now have your 3rd place guys with 775, that's crazy. You can't win that way. So I don't know if now with Joe Girardi being fired, if Joe Maddon will be next. He very well could be. That'd be unfortunate for Shohei because of all the versatility he allows for Shohei. But something needs to be fixed. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So YouTube is recommending this video. Let me know in the comments what you think will be done with this Angels losing streak, if it will continue, if they'll win, if Joe Maddon will be fired. Let me know what you think, and thank you.